tight. Now, what I do to start, you see those lines. That's how they line up. I mark right there so I know where the shoulders are. Why this is shaking. Well, that was probably it. I don't know why, but the bit must have already been damaged or something, because it shouldn't have popped off like that. But fortunately, because I go through so many of these little tiny mill end bits, I usually have extras on hand. Let's try this again. Why is that shaking so much? Alright, we're just going to go do it this way. Usually I drill a bunch of holes and then run it through them, but it wasn't liking that. This isn't a great mill. It's a mini mill, but it gets the job done. It's kind of weird it's shaking so much. It doesn't usually. All right, so we still don't fit. That's a good thing. So now we can very gradually widen it until it does fit. All right. About halfway on. I think I want to do something else really quick to this though. Yep. Okay. All right. So I just double checked. This has got a little high spot right here in this area. So we're gonna go to the grinder. Take care of that real quick. Which actually, let's do it to all of them. 1 sec, everybody. Might as well do them all at once. All right. All right, so I'm gonna grab a 80 grit belt. Now I've got this on the rotary platen, which is fine. That'll work. I'm gonna do this at a really low speed. That should be good. We might have to come back and touch it up again. But we'll see. Head back over to the mill. All right, so we are almost all the way up there. So I didn't really remove much material. I basically just smoothed it out here and made it a little more even. So I'm going to take my diamond file and I'm just going to clean up the edges real quick. Not much. I'm not doing a crazy angle. I'm not pushing hard. I'm just trying to get the burr off. There we go. All right. Whoop. Grab a tool out of here. Frogger, how you doing? So far, so good. I am, however, fighting yet another cold. So, over the past, 2 months, 3 months, I've been sick twice already. Once was COVID, once just a regular cold. And then last week, Monday night, the kids and I got food poisoning, which was awesome. The tip on this is so sharp already, it's cut right through my my leather apron. I usually just kind of set it there, and I really wasn't trying to push in and use it as leverage, but I ended up doing it, and so it cut right into it. So anyways, the kids and I got food poisoning Monday night, and my wife didn't because she wasn't hungry that night and didn't eat with us. Very suspicious. But so last Tuesday and Wednesday, I was down. I didn't even get out of bed Tuesday. So all I'm doing is slowly pushing this down. You can see there's still a gap. It's a little machine shop mini mill. It's really, it works, it's fine, but it's not the best. Eventually I will get a better one. Okay. So now all I'm doing is looking to see where it's tight and where it's not. Little crescent hammer action. Okay, so now I'm going to start rounding out the top where it's going to meet the shoulder. And I say rounding out. What I'm doing is I'm rounding the edge right here. Ow. So Tuesday, before I admitted defeat and went back to bed, I came out and I started working on stuff and started grinding and automatically ground the end of my finger off. Did I stop then and realize I need to go back to bed? Nope. I kept going for another hour before I couldn't see straight. But I didn't mess any knives up, just my finger. Okay, we are super close. Super. Yeah, you can see the gap right there. Yeah. So, that's right. Where I was going with that was, I'm pretty sure that food poisoning just destroyed my immune system. And so Thursday, Friday, kind of felt a little off. Was all right this weekend. We had a yard sale. But last night, I knew I was getting sick. So it's just not been a great year for health. Oh, I hate when that happens. Hold on, I dropped my Allen wrench. And of course it goes all the way under the bench to the wall. See, we're almost, I can see just a touch of light right in here. Still just a tiny bit of light. There we go. Keep going just a little bit. Make sure it's nice and tight. What's the matter, Mishka? All right, so we are tight. There's no gap. Yeah, that looks pretty good. There we go. All right, so this one is ready and done. So we'll move on to the next one. Curious how this is going to react with the stainless. It vibrated so much with that copper. Hey, I appreciate it, Frogger. Yeah, right now I just feel like got a little bit of a head cold. That's it. As long as I don't get a sore throat, I'm okay. That is, to me, the worst kind of sick. Still vibrating quite a bit, but not as much. So my holes are overlapping just a little bit. With a mill, that's pretty easy to do. With a mill end, at least. Drill bit, you can't really do that. right. All right. Take a second real quick. All right. Hey, everybody. My name's Brock. I'm the owner and bladesmith of Woodson Knife Co. We're working on guards right now for these hidden tang knives. I've got 3 of them, 2 buoys, and this harpoon tip hunter. Just got doing the copper guard. After this, I'll get to shaping them. I think I may do a spacer on these as well. Not sure yet. So if I do a spacer, we'll wait to shape them. But we'll see. All right. Now, I'm just trying to take off about 1,000. There we go. About 1,000 at a time. Because if you go even a hair too big, you just got to start over. And that is so close to being too big. But it'll work. So we just gotta taper the shoulders, a little file. Close. Here we go. I can see just a little bit of light, but I can't get the right angle for you guys to see it. Saw a little raised spot there on the corner. All right, let's try utilizing this. Hey everybody, if you don't already follow me, please hit that follow button. Also, smash that like button for me. The more times you hit, the better. More likes I get, which means I show up on more people's For You page, which helps me grow, and I really appreciate it. So we're not even at 500 reactions right now. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 here real quick. So hit that like button. All right, I see the likes going up. Keep them coming. I do apologize for my sniffles. All right, so that one is set as well. 2 down, 1 to go. Yeah, I don't know much about machine work. It was the first mill I've ever owned. I wanted to get a bigger mill, but unfortunately I can't get three-phase to my shop, so not without spending thousands. So this is kind of the way for me to go. I know there's a couple companies out there that make bigger ones that are still single phase. Both times. Oh, it's too wide. Too wide. So, a gap. That's unfortunate, but fortunately I have more stainless, so. The lack of a heat treating oven. All right, let me grab the stainless. I'm gonna cut off another piece. Just a simple piece of 410. I'm not even gonna worry about making a really straight cut. Over here, I just gotta grab a pen real quick. So I can line out where the shoulders are gonna be. Do my best to kind of center it, place it about where I'm gonna want it. As far as height, yeah, I'm sure if it's just like my welding, if I have a professional welder watching, I always get a little nervous because I know I'm not a great welder. I just use a stick welder, and eventually I'm going to upgrade to a MIG-TIG, but eventually. So they're not cheap. It must be shaken so bad because of the bit. It's a different bit than I normally use. But it's working. Close. Hopefully I didn't go too far. Nope. Cool. That's what I want. I do the rest with file. I don't like it when it goes all the way up on the first shot. It means I'm too close to being too wide. I think we're going to run it a little bit more. A little bit of time. I did again. That's why. That's why I'm having problems. I've got a thick spot right here, so I'm gonna have to grind that a bit. And we're gonna have to start over again. It's the first time I've had two fail like that. Usually the second time I get it. But we are going to change out to a flat platen. Alright, grab the blade. All right. Should make it a little easier. And I didn't even put the stainless away because I don't know why. I have a feeling something was going to happen. Hi, Mishka. All right. Okay. I just eyeball it and do it by feel. I'm not trained in machining, so I know just enough to be dangerous, I guess. All right. And honestly, I don't know if this machine is, if any of it's accurate enough to really rely on measurements that it's going to have on it. And heck, I got this machine used. Okay. It's a little tight up top. I think that's my grind though. Whoop. Oh. Sorry, I just kicked the tripod. I'm gonna go flatten this out real quick. It'll just take me a second. And you can tell I'm nervous about going too far again. Hey Joe, how you doing? Good to see you. Lots of this back and forth. Oh! Went the wrong way. Hopefully, that didn't just mess it up. Yep, it certainly did. Okay, that's third. That's the third one. I might keep these because I can use them on knives that have thicker tangs, but... Okay. Now, if this time it doesn't work, we're going to switch gears and do a different kind of material for this one. Because I am getting low on that stainless. Just using way too much of it for this. Like I said a minute ago, I have never had, I've had fail the first time, or I just didn't get it quite right, but I've never had it fail more than twice, and this is the fourth one. So 3 failures in, let's see if we can get this Right this time. Oh, really? Joe, I haven't even seen the categories. Although we had a yard sale this weekend, so I was super busy with that. All right, let's see how far up it fits. Ooh, maybe not. That is hot. And did not fit as far as I thought it would. Oh, that's the categories? I know why. That's exciting. Not enough that we can try this. I bought the mill used from a guy that had quit knife making. Um, so realistically, I paid $1,000 for the mill, a bunch of stuff that came with the mill, and a bunch of odds and ends for knife making. So it wasn't a bad deal. Yes. Oh, cool, Joe. Thank you. Yeah, I know I got a pretty good deal on the mill, even though it's used, and it's not a great one, but eventually I do want to upgrade. I don't know. We'll see. There's some other tools I feel like I need prior, like a metal lathe. I really want, not a big one, just a benchtop metal lathe. All right. We're going to do something else. I don't know why I cannot get this to fit up right. I think I still have a high spot here in the middle. All right. I'm determined. We're going to do one more. I'm going to clean up the high spot and cut another piece. So bear with me. All right. So now we should be better. I could mic it and check it that way, but why not? and on the plus side, I have all these little ones. They're already started. So in the future, when I have a knife that has a thicker tang than this, I'll be set. Well, it didn't mark. Grab a different pen. One just stopped working. It's always fun. There we go. Okay, 5th time's charm, right? Is that how that old saying goes? Hopefully, maybe. Bingo. I want a higher speed. Hey everybody, welcome to the live. Currently working on a guard for this. We've already done 2. This one is giving me problems. This is actually the 5th one. I'm getting a bit annoyed with this piece, so. All right, so that's a better start. That's what I want from the get-go. hammer. Alrighty. Well, it's really on there. I can wiggle it, but it doesn't want to come off. We'll get it. Alright, I'm going to have to go do something a little different. There we go. The vise makes quick work of it. Come on. A little bit more. I'm not super happy with it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to finish the shoulders, get it nice and tight, and see. Worst case scenario, I just focus on the other two today because I'm not making another one for this blade this morning. 5 attempts is enough. I've never had that much of a problem. I don't like it. I don't like it because there's too much of a gap right there. It does not meet my standards. I don't know why I've had so much problems with it. Because we still have a little bit of a high spot right there. Okay, well, I'm stopping on that one. We're going to focus on these other two. That's gotten a little bit ridiculous. Setbacks are one thing, but doing a guard 5, this would be the 6th time. It's too much frustration for me right now. All right. Good, Joe. Thank you. And I'm glad you're here, man. It's always nice to have people who communicate and interact in the comments and stuff. And for everybody else, if you have questions, put them in the comments. I will answer. Maybe not right away if I'm doing something. So, all right. So this is what I'm thinking for handle material. This is kind of a gray-green color. It's a red maple that was dyed and stabilized with some blue, but made, green. And then I've got this. I think this is redwood burl. Question is, do I prefer hidden tang or scales? I think hidden tangs look nicer. If they're done right, there's no difference in strength, in my opinion, especially if you're using high quality stabilized wood or, other really strong materials, and your tang size is the right bit. Your tang needs to fit in the hand. This one could be considered a bit short, but it's not going to have a really big handle, so it'll be fine. This one, that's a little better for lengthwise. Hidden tangs are harder to do. You have to be more accurate. There's more places you can mess up. But I think they look nicer in the end. Typically, not always. There are some blades that really look good with full tang. So I don't know if that even answered the question, but that's what I got. All right. So if I'm doing, pen over here. If I'm doing a knife where the handle's gonna kind of come down, right? I'll just cut an angle off the end of the block to facilitate that. But for these, I'm not doing that. A little bit better. Yeah, pull tanks can be easier, especially if you're using the right technique for your pins. Now all I'm doing, originally I was going to make this a takedown knife. Ooh, slide a little bit, yep. She's a bigger Sharpie. This is just really a reference point. So this way I know how deep to go with the drill. And I can transfer these marks okay. Now, a lot of times I will just eyeball it. Because I can usually get really close. Alright. Okay. Well, rust-resistant knife, you're going to want stainless. My favorite stainless is Nitro V stainless steel. It's a high carbon stainless, so it holds a really good edge, but it's got the rust protection of a normal stainless steel. That's what I would do in that case. And yeah, you can get any kind of thickness, just like other steels. New Jersey Steel Baron is where you pick that up. But yeah, I've got a lot of that Nitro V stainless steel. It's good stuff. All right, now I'll raise the camera up a little bit. Yeah, no problem. Okay. So we're going to start with this guy. Now, when I'm doing hidden tangs, I will bed my tang so I can make the hole bigger, and it's not going to really matter. But one thing I am going to do real quick is mark out my drill points. So I just take the drill bit and mark the edge of it. It doesn't give me exactly centered all the time, but pretty close. By bedding the tang, you get a better fit, and you don't have to be as accurate. With your hole for the tang. Almost goes deep enough, not quite. And we are not. There we go. So I put the piece of wood beside the drill bit and made sure it was nice and even with the drill bit flat up against the side. That way it's going to drill a straight hole, even if my table's off a little bit or something. I'm going really slow on this one because it's in the middle of those two holes and I don't want it to wander over into them. If I can help it. It's probably going to, but yep. I think it just started. Maybe not. I'm gonna make it wander. So that's done for now because we're going to do the rest by hand, for the most part at least. This side. I'm going to switch you guys to the other side. There you go. You can see better now, I think. All right, so we got one hole. It didn't quite go all the way down, but we'll fix that. I guess I could check the comments here. It looks like I missed some. Oh, maybe not. All right. All right, hey, that's actually a perfect time. Oh man, my hair's... I need a haircut. All right, hey everybody, my name's Brock. I'm the owner and bladesmith of Woodson Knife Co. Right now, I'm working on getting this block of redwood burl ready to go on a knife. It's going to be a hidden tang, so we're getting the holes drilled. And hey, if you guys don't already follow me, hit that follow button. Also, hit that like button. The more times you hit the like button, the better. So now I've tilted the block of wood the opposite direction. So it follows the lines down. I just felt the meat. Nice. I hope you like it. All right. That's actually pretty good for the first shot. This one is not. Well, it's pretty good. Now, when you're doing this, you got to be careful if you're like me and you get these to pretty much sharp already just by hand sanding. In fact, I'm going to do this to give myself a little added safety. Now, will it still cut through the tape? Yes. But because the tape is overlapped like that, it gives it a little bit more of a buffer zone. The copper one was just really sharp already. So this will help. All right, so broaching tools. I need to make a new one of these. I just haven't gotten around to it. Just a little hook. I've also got this little saw and then a 1/4-inch chisel. Actually, no, 1/8 chisel. Which is perfect because you can see that spot in there on the bottom that needs to come out. A little bit farther. So it wants to push this up because I need to take more out of the bottom. That's awesome, Joe. I like it. And I really appreciate the support as always, man. This is my least favorite part of doing hidden tanks. I felt like we got more traction on that one. All right, so we're getting close. So I want to try a different trick to figure out where I need to remove more material. Make sure it's all covered in Sharpie. And now where the Sharpie's gone, I can tell that's where it contacted quite a bit on the back end, so we're not quite deep enough. Interesting. All right. So I'm gonna get this drilled real quick. Heck, that was the problem. Okay, so I'm gonna go a little bit farther. All right. So right here on the top and on the bottom. Both sides on the bottom. Still not fully seated. I think we need to go a little deeper. Croatia, how are you doing? All right, let's drill a little bit more. Very close. Okay, we still need to take more out of the bottom because it's not tight right here. make sure it was nice and tight. I'll do another press on this with this little handy dandy tool here. Try to get that guard tightened up a little bit more. Oops. Good. I'm glad you like it, Joe. I'm gonna do both. I typically, unless it's a chef's knife, I'm gonna pin it as well as epoxy. Now I bed my tangs, so once I get this all fit in the way I like it, I'm going to wrap Teflon tape around the tang, cover it all in Vaseline, and put 5-minute epoxy in here, put it all together, and at about 5 minutes pull it apart and take all the Teflon tape off and everything else. And then I will drill my hole for my pin, and then I can start shaping the handle. That's how I like to do them. Oh, jeez. There we go. I'm still having the same issue. I can just see a tiny bit of light. There we go. Okay. This one's set. All right, one down. Jim, what tool's that? I'm curious. Good, I'm glad, Joe. Joe, did you have any problems with the storm at all? I had intended to text you this weekend and check on you, but I got so busy with our yard sale, I neglected like everything. Okay, good. I'm glad. I don't think I know anybody that was really affected by it. Or if I do, I haven't heard and didn't realize that's where they lived, you know. Actually, I can think of a couple people I need to check on. All right, now we're going to do the Sharpie trick. All right there on the tail, right there, right along that edge, and on that bottom edge there, okay. we go. Bingo bango. Now we should be doing the third, but I feel a little defeated after 5 of those guards not fitting right. So I'll mess with that one later. But we've got this where we need it. Housekeeping real quick, bear with me. Now the main reason I use Teflon tape is because of the hole in the tank. You can do it with just Vaseline and get away with it. It does work, but it is a lot easier to use a Teflon tape because it keeps the epoxy from getting in that hole, which can cause issues taking it apart. It also gives you a little bit more wiggle room than you would have with just Vaseline. I want to get all over the base, or the back of the guard, I should say. And then I'm going to wipe down the Teflon tape, because I don't really want the Teflon tape sticking in there either. It shouldn't, but just in case. Oh. The other spot I like to do is top of the block. You don't really need to, but it's just kind of a habit I've gotten in. Epoxy. And I'm going to grab another clamp. Give me a minute. This one. Okay, just want to make sure I have 2 clamps close by. Okay. Oh yeah, especially some of the spiders you've got there, Joe. The guard looks backwards. No, they're not backwards. All right. What do I want to fill to? There we go. Probably way more epoxy than I really need, but maybe not. I'd rather have too much than not enough. Okay. What I do is I go to the trash can and squeeze out the excess. Which really wasn't that much on this one. Grab the clamp. That one I almost didn't have enough. It should be all right still, but actually I've got a little bit more resin I'm gonna get in there real quick. right. Now, if you got some that come out like that, not a big deal. Just clean it off. You can use acetone. We're not going to let this fully cure before we take it apart, so we'll clean it up real good after. Actually, we can just take some acetone right now. Why not? All right. Okay, so now we just gotta let those sit for a few minutes. Brian, yeah. Yeah, no, it's fine. It doesn't have to match up to the block. And I wanted overhang on here. This isn't like the final glue up. This is all going to get taken apart. I'm going to shape this guard and do a basic shape of the handle. I've also got to put the pin hole in. I got several things to do, but it will be even when it's done. Okay, right on, Joe. All right, so those are done. Part of me really wants to get that other one going. It's because it's annoying me. Yeah, I kind of thought that's what you were talking about, man. And I completely understand. I do this on purpose because that way I have enough room down here that I can bring the handle back around here and give it a kind of a butt end. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. My name's Brock. I'm the owner and bladesmith of Woodson Knife Co. Right now, we are working on a couple hidden tang knives. I'm doing the bedding right now. So we've already drilled the hole in the wood. It's an oversized hole, which is fine. It can be a little sloppy because I put Teflon tape around the tang and then wiped it down with Vaseline, which prevents the epoxy from sticking to it. So I pour 5-minute epoxy into the hole, shove the blade in there, and after a few minutes, when it starts to cure, I'll pull it apart. So it's not permanently fixed in there. So that gives a nice slot for that tang to go back into, and I can put it together, take it apart several times, and it's going to be in the same spot every time. So it makes the process of finishing the knife easier, and it's going to make the whole knife more stable. If you were to just drill the holes and pin it, if you have any kind of wiggle room in there at all, that pin may not fix that wiggle room. So you might have to put epoxy in. This just kind of makes the whole process a little bit easier from here on forward. No worries, man. So we've got 2 of these right now. I'm thinking, they're not quite ready. Nope, not quite ready. Okay, I'll leave them for a few more minutes. As soon as I started pulling it apart, the knife started sliding out. The knife is going to stick in there just a little bit, but you'll be able to pull it apart. Now, if you do this and you leave it in for, say, 20, 30 minutes, which I have done several times in the past, it can be a little hard to take it apart. Putting the Teflon tape on there and the Vaseline really mitigates that and makes it easier to take apart. But I've done it where I've just used the Vaseline, forgot it was there, and half hour later I went to take it apart and it was a chore. It came apart finally, but it was a chore. Yeah, I think these will be pretty cool. I'm working hard to, 1, get orders out, 2, get things ready like this. These aren't special orders. I'm trying to get them ready for the holidays. And for anybody that is interested in a special order, my cutoff is October 15th for Christmas. So if you're interested in buying a chef's knife or something like that for somebody, or a hunting knife, get with me before October 15th. So we can get the ball rolling on that. The easiest way to do that, go to my website, woodsonKnifeco.com. Shoot me a message through the website. Also, check the website out. I almost forgot. This month, I am doing 15% off discount. The promo code is ENJOY, all capital letters. So if you do go to the website and you see a knife you want, or some of the knife care or t-shirt, whatever, use the promo code ENJOY at checkout and you'll get 15% off. You're lost on what we're talking about. Well, that's okay. My name's Brock. I am the owner and bladesmith of Woodson Knife Co. Mondays I do lives, and I work on knives. I do everything from forging to today we're just working on putting together hidden tang knives. This one is a Damascus clad Sanmai with a nickel shim. That's the bright nickel right there. And then I've got another one. This is a copper kumai. It's got tape on the blade right across the copper strip. Oh, there you go. It's copper kumai. Just take that on off. I put the tape around there because these are not, I haven't put an edge on them, but they're still ground too sharp. And they will cut me if I slide my hand down them. So I try to be careful because I have enough cuts on my hands as it is. Thank you, Brian. Well, hey, you are in the right place. So like I was saying, October 15th is my cutoff for special orders that need to be done by Christmas time, mailed out before Christmas time. Now, I can do, if you come November or something and you go, I don't see why I want the website, I still want to order something, what I can do is send the person that's going to receive it basically a letter saying, congratulations, you are getting Woodson Knife Co. knife for Christmas. It's just not going to be complete in time for Christmas. That's one thing I can do. I've done that in the past for people for birthdays and Christmas last year. But yeah, I always feel bad when, the end of November comes around, early December, and people are messaging me, hey, can I get this custom knife made done? Can you do it by Christmas? I can't. most knives take me, at least a month, if not more, and to finish. And when I have a bunch of orders stacked up, I have to do them in order, so I'm fair to everybody. And so my lead time right now is 3 to 6 months on orders. But if it's an order for Christmas, this is my crunch time of year. So, all right. So these have been sitting probably long enough. Let's see if we can get this guy out. It just pops off the. Ooh. Pops off the little clamp piece here. I want to fix it before I move on. Maybe, there we go. All right, there we go. So, comes out nice and clean, nothing's glued together. Well, I shouldn't say clean because it's got Vaseline on it and some epoxy and stuff, so. But, boom. So, and it's going to hold that shape in there. Business is booming. No, it's actually been really slow the past couple months, but still it takes time to make these knives, especially when we're talking, I have to make a billet, like I make a billet of Damascus for a knife. It takes me time, and I have orders that I'm working through. Right now, I just glued up, 2 of these are orders. This one's an order, just glued up the handle on it. Oh, they're all stuck to my paper here. Another copper kumai, that's an order. The third one here is not an order, but it's one that I had started. And so I just wanted to kind of throw it in the mix and get those done tomorrow or the next day. Once they're cured, I'll start shaping those handles and finishing everything. And with these now, I've got to start cleaning them up. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I do a lot with copper and brass now as well. There it is. All right. Yeah, this is why I like using the Teflon tape. It just makes it so much easier. Teflon and Vaseline. Who would have thought? All right. So I want to make sure I've got none of that 5-minute epoxy up on the blade. I don't care if it's on the guard because I'm going to be cleaning up the face of the guards as well. Oh, that one's fine. right. Now, I think what I want to do I'm going to start the design that's going to be on the face of these. Not doing what I wanted it to, so. I have the proper tools to do it. So we'll just move over here and that's good enough. Check comments. My sharpening stones. Most of the sharpening stones that I've gotten were off of Amazon. I do sell ceramic rods on my website. You can get whetstones and diamond stones and stuff off of Amazon really easily. And that's just, when I first started out, that's where I got them. And I haven't needed to buy more. I haven't needed to upgrade yet. So, all right, let me get this to a good vantage point. Pen's not working right. Where's the other one? I don't know. Ah, there it is. So I'm just going to start by laying out some basic lines that I need to pay attention to. Excuse me for the sniffles. I apologize. Wish this would stop. So on this little sheet of circles and ovals and all that, it has lines that help guide where I need things to be. I'll try to do something a little fancier on this next one. And I made that crooked. Oh, that was a bit off. Okay. Now it doesn't look too great right now, but we'll get there. All right, let's go set the grinder up. And I don't know why people ask to join my live when they're not even on here. I've never even seen them comment. Oh, man. Yeah, Japanese stones are ridiculously expensive. I use my whetstones, they were $90 on Amazon, and I like them. They were great. It's 1,000 on one side and 6,000 on the other. Thank you. Yes, Joe, they will be for sale. Go camping more in the. Well, actually, where you're at, that does make sense. All right, let's head over to the grinder. Now, when I'm doing these small pieces, I want this rest as close as possible. That's how I hurt my finger last week. I was doing a knife and there was just too much of a gap and it caught and the knife went down and it shoved my finger into the grinder. Stupidity on my part. But in my defense, I had like 101-degree fever and didn't realize it. How I didn't realize it, I don't know. This copper gets hot real fast. Oh, no. I hate it when this happens. That little piece is so hot. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I've kept that pretty clean recently, so. Yep, that'll work. That's cool. Mix size. Now what I'm putting on right now is called a small wheel attachment. Whoops, I forgot. Let's try that again. So, what I did wrong there, I did not adjust the belt prior to starting it. There we go. here. All right. Check the comments. Hey, Steven. Yeah, it's been a bit daunting, especially the past couple months, just because things slowed down the past couple months. But hopefully, holidays coming up, and hopefully next year will be better. So, all right. So I got this guy done. Just trying to make sure it's even. This isn't the final look, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Something similar to that. I think I'll bring these to a point or round them. I'll probably round them. Point would be bad. Boom. This one, I think I might do some file work on the guard and then peen it. Okay. Now, let's start figuring out a few extra things here. Okay. Now we can drill pinholes, but I want to do some sketching first. There we go. I'm sorry about my sniffling. It's really bothering me. Now these are just guidelines. This off and where you can actually see. I like it. This one, I want to do a little straighter. Do not like that. Okay. Didn't end up doing it straight, but I think that looks good. Yeah. What do you guys think? sniffling. Now, because my drill press will not chuck up this 1/16 bit, I've got to use my drill. Okay. All right. Whoa, that's hot. Okay, pinholes are done. So I'm just going to use some 1/16 nickel rods, and I'll dome them when it's done. These still will get epoxied together on top of the pins because I want them to be bulletproof. Now, the knife just looks long right here, but it's got the big finger choil. All right.